Hello and welcome to the News at 7, where we get to the heart of the day's stories and communities across Scotland tonight. The former principal of Dundee University is asked if he was incompetent or corrupt after the financial crisis there. We'll hear from the editor of the student paper there about how students themselves have been affected by the financial turmoil. Also tonight, as always, we will have the sport with Lewis. What have you got for us tonight? And we will hear from the author of a new book arguing for a more rounded view of Gaelic Scotland to be told to tourists. Hello, I'm Amy Irons and welcome to the News at 7. Now, detectives investigating gangland violence across central Scotland say they are pursuing alleged gang leaders based abroad. So far, 49 people have been arrested. The Chief Constable of Police Scotland says they are now building intelligence to pursue senior figures from the groups involved. Councillors in Edinburgh have voted to push ahead with plans to pedestrianise one of the city's main shopping areas. Let's take a look at just some of the stories on the BBC News app in Scotland today then. And a Scottish nurse jailed for murdering 4 elderly hospital patients has lost his appeal against the convictions. Colin Campbell, previously known as Colin Norris, was found guilty back in 2008. A government body, Nature Scot, spent more than £160,000 on a consultation process which ultimately ended in plans for a new national park in Galloway being scrapped. And the former MSP Tommy Sheridan has lost his legal battle to overturn Glasgow City Council's decision not to employ him as a social worker. The judge said the decision couldn't be judicially reviewed. Well, for more information of these stories, you can scan that QR code on your screen and it will take you straight to the BBC Scotland News app, where there is plenty more for you there. Now, private jet flights in and out of Prestwick Airport went up by more than a third last year. That's according to figures from charity Oxfam Scotland, who say there should be a tax on private jets. The Scottish Government says it's reviewing rates and bans and is open to introducing a higher tax. Earlier, I spoke to Lewis Ryder-Jones from Oxfam Scotland, who can tell us what they found out. Yes, we will see how the weather is looking. Now, the cry of seagulls. Can you hear that? Yes, familiar sound, isn't it, in coastal towns and villages, but is increasingly being heard in our cities as well, and in the studio. And there are more reports of the birds causing a nuisance by stealing food and other antisocial behaviour. The issue was even debated in Holyrood this afternoon. Let's hear from some residents in there who've been affected and where a plan is in place to deal with the aggressive gulls. So yes, eye contact with a seagull is what we all have to remember. Right, still to come, we will find out how the weather is looking with Judith, and of course we'll discuss how Scotland sells itself to tourists. But before all of that, it's sport time with Lewis. And Lewis, we have some Scots down under hoping to make a bit of an impact. Too many selfies if you did go. Thanks very much, Lewis. Now, a new book aiming to give visitors to the Highlands and Islands a better understanding of Gaelic history and tradition, Travels in Another Country, A Guide to Gaelic Scotland, was written by the Skye-based historian and tour guide Cognac MacLean. He popped in for a chat earlier and says he wants the book to counter the myths often spoken about Gaelic Scotland in the tourism industry.
It is.
The author, Cognac MacLean there. Now, let's see how the weather is looking then. Here is Judith. Thanks, Judith. Well, that is all from us here on the News at 7 team. Thanks for being with us as always. I will be back with you on tomorrow's programme. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.